Kontakthof, Echoes of 78. In 1978, Pina Bausch created Kontakthof alongside her collaborator, Rolf Borzik, and company Tanztheater Wuppertal. Whilst creating it, she often mused on the idea of seeing the same cast dance her iconic work when much older. In 2024, 9 of the original cast reunited to create Kontakthof Echoes of 78 under the artistic direction of Meryl Tankard. Sadler's Wells Digital Stage goes behind the scenes of the fascinating process, meeting company members who danced both then and now. They talk about working with Pina, revisiting their earlier performances, and the absence of those no longer on the stage. The digital film cuts between cine film footage of the original piece in black and white and rehearsals and interviews with the older dancers. The interviews are just with the individual, sometimes in the rehearsal room or dance studio, or in the theatre in Wuppertal, or sometimes at their accommodation. The film is projected on a large screen in the dance studio, or onto 2 very large screens at the back of the stage, whilst the performers dance below. Now in their 60s and 70s, the dancers recreate the movements from 45 years earlier, performing with energy and panache. The style is modern, sometimes angular and sharp, backs erect, arms reach high above the head or bend at the elbow, perhaps pausing to rest on the head or smooth the hair. Hips jut, legs kick out, almost jive style. Seated dancers lift and drag their chairs. A man and woman grasp at each other as if fighting, or embrace so tightly we feel they will never let the other go. There is a freshness and vivacity to the moves recreated and relived by the dancers, who retain the poise and bearing of their younger selves. The effect of seeing these older bodies and faces throwing themselves into the dance is striking. There are 4 female dancers, plus the artistic director, who also dances, and 4 male. All are grey-haired, with the lines of life etched upon their faces, but they remain supple and lively. Meryl Tankard, artistic director and dancer, is white with red lipstick, jaw-length wavy grey hair often tucked behind her ears. She has an Australian accent. Josephine Ann Endicott has a still youthful face with blue eyes and long grey hair. Elizabeth Clark is black and curvy with broad shoulders and short, tight curls of grey hair. Anne Martin speaks with a French accent. She has a pale complexion, long ballet dancer's neck with shoulder-length dark grey hair. And Beatrice Libonati is very slender, with dark eyes and shoulder-length greying dark hair. The male dancers are all white. John Griffin is tall and slim with short white hair, often laughing. Lutz Förster has a debonair look to him, also tall and slim with short white hair. Arthur Rosenfeld is medium height and build with a shaved head, and Ed Cortland is also medium height and build with neat grey hair and glasses. We also hear from Salomon Bausch, son of Pina Bausch and director of the Pina Bausch Foundation. Salomon is around 40, with tufty dark hair, designer stubble and glasses. He wears a large scarf knotted around his neck over a pale green jumper. He has a German accent. Kontakthof, Echoes of 78, is a Sadler's Wells Pina Bausch Foundation and Tanztheater Wuppertal Pina Bausch production, conceived and directed by Meryl Tankard. The auditorium of Open House Theatre Wuppertal, empty but for rehearsal staff, a dance studio, a chandelier. Sadler's Wells digital stage presents Dancing Through Time, returning to Pina Bausch's Kontakthof. Dancers in performance and on film step forwards, women in slinky satin cocktail dresses, men in suits. Meryl Tankard in an empty theatre.
It's just amazing being back with everybody. I mean, we joke and we laugh.
The dancers backstage.
You know, we used to say, oh, Arthur's exactly the same as he was 45 years ago. And 45 years, that's a really long time.
Doing Kontakthof with the same people.
Elizabeth
in the
Clark.
same room after all these years.
Dancer.
It's like we're going back, but we're going back on the knowledge that we have now.
In the wings, the dancers chat. A dancer opens the door to the stage. The older dancers face the audience. Salman Bausch, founder, Pina Bausch Foundation.
In the last couple of years, some of the original dancers have mentioned to me that Pina has had this idea of seeing them doing the Kontakthof when much older. And to see those original dancers back on stage, it would be wonderful.
Dancers echo the moves of their younger selves on screen.
Kontakthof is one of those pieces that have been in the repertoire very continuously, and it's really one of the most important pieces for Pina.
In the film, a couple grapple with each other.
I'm Meryl Tankard, so I'm now directing this production of Echoes 78. I was a dancer in the original production of Kontakthof in 1978. I came from Australia. I had red lips and red nail polish and makeup. The first party, I'm in this red dress with sequins and everybody's in just dirty old grey t-shirts.
Period photos of her.
That was it, you know.
It's a very rare opportunity.
Salman.
Somebody who has so close knowledge of the work, who has been part of the creation.
Rehearsals.
Goes back to that work.
You could do that loop a bit more, you know, just to get in there.
I said if we're doing the original production, we have to really have the original people.
Meryl.
So we made calls all over the world to see who was alive,
The dancers.
who was willing, who was physically able. Everyone was scared.
The older dancers stretch and curve.
When I was first asked
Lutz Förster,
about
dancer.
but a project, I have to say, I said that's impossible, and anyway, you know, I'm too old and and so many people are not there anymore. Only when Meryl presented her idea, then I thought, okay, we can try.
The dancers study the black and white footage and recreate the moves.
We had the idea to use archival footage from our archives to
Salman.
really still have those ones who are not on stage anymore being present, and also to have the younger selves of those ones who are on stage appear, to have this dialogue through time.
Dancers adjust their dresses.
It's like open reel tapes that Rolf Borzik, who was also the partner of Pina and the set and costume designer, he had this camera and he would film those pieces.
The cine film of the sharp dance moves.
I just saw about 20 tapes. I
Meryl.
thought if I can bring my film skills to this work, then it's something new for me.
No, we don't.
She examines the archive film. A line of dancers parade on a huge screen at the back. The live dancers parade on stage.
My name is Josephine Ann Endicott. People just call me Jo. I'm almost 75. I'm the oldest woman in this new project. The woman, Pina, fascinated me for so many years. The way we worked, this new way, the kind of movements she was doing, it was completely different to classical ballet.
She spins, long grey hair flowing around her. In the dance studio, 9 dancers skip energetically. They bounce foot to foot, arms out as if holding a partner, matching their moves on screen.
So it's
Anne Martin, dancer.
first of all a big emotion, huge emotion to be again with my old colleagues, and we laugh a lot about our age and about what we can't do anymore. It's strange to be again in this part where I was like 46 years ago, because
She
I have
stretches.
changed and not changed. I mean, I feel much more relaxed with myself.
Arthur Rosenfeld, dancer.
It's quite extraordinary after 46 years. You come back and you hear the music and it's just in your body. You know it still. First of all, you see yourself in the video image and you think, how is that possible? You know it's you, but it's not you, it's someone else.
Young men in suits, arms raised.
I danced this piece
Lute, first step.
from 78 till 96.
On screen as a slick young man.
And when I looked these videos of Rolf Borzik, I was quite impressed what we did, you know. And I'm fascinated on one side by this clearness and this simplicity, but also by this incredible energy.
He whirls a dancer in rehearsal and on film.
And I feel like those projections have energized them, actually. Like their bodies are actually, you know, they're being embodied by their younger selves.
Rehearsals.
It's really, really great.
The women on chairs kick out in their satin dresses. They flap their arms. They draw their chairs closer to the men who seem to be reeling them in. A glittering chandelier.
The themes are always the same.
Ed Kirtland, dancer.
Love and hate, aggression and rest and peace and all these things, they are universal.
The more we see the older pieces, the more we think, oh my God, she was a genius.
Joe
What we
glides
were doing
around the floor.
was very important. They were not just, you know, pieces. We were saying something. And in Kontakthof, I have lots of changes of characters. Like at one moment, I'm this sweet little pink girl with Meryl.
They
We
duet.
have lovely little things to do together.
They dance
which is
balletically.
very dainty.
Beatrice Libonati,
We had
dancer.
our first rehearsals from Kontakthof in the ballet saal. She wanted to do some small movement that we do when we are ashamed or shy or when we meet somebody.
Anne
So
Martin,
she asked 6 different gestures of tenderness that you do to somebody that you love, that are still in the piece now. We all do them one moment.
She
Beatrice,
worked a lot to clean the movements when there were scenes with movements. She cleans so detailed.
Meryl runs her fingers through her hair, eyes closed.
This piece, I think, is the beginnings of what we know of Pina Bausch.
John Giffen, dancer.
I enjoyed working with her, though it was difficult. And I think it was difficult because it demanded so much of us. We couldn't leave our emotions behind. Some choreographers want you to come in and you're just a body, you're just a dancer, and I did a lot of that in there.
On stage, John applauds. Elizabeth Clark, dancer.
The way Pina got us to be such individuals is she would ask a question. For example, what would you do if you were in a public place and you wanted to catch everybody's attention? And we would think about it, and then we would go one by one and just show her our answers.
I know in the beginning we worked on movement.
Lutes.
Movement, but without music, a little phrase, a little something, some little gestures, or what. Nobody knew what was going to happen with it.
It was like a seed
Ed.
and there came a tree, and you didn't know what kind of tree it was, and suddenly you see it. Or a mist, and it starts to get clear, and you see something, and maybe it's something you didn't want to.
It wasn't so much that she tried
Elizabeth,
that we would all look the same, but she wanted us to all feel the same.
Anne,
For me, what was really incredible, because I felt actually so bad and so not as good as the others, and I felt so insecure. It was one part of the genius of Pina. She was presenting us, taking out of us things that maybe we didn't even know. But it took me a lot of time to feel that actually what she liked in me was me. And I didn't have to try to be better or like somebody else.
Anne warms up on the empty stage. Arthur?
Working with this company was totally absorbing. It was just your whole life. We had to be in at 10 in the morning. We'd work until 2. We'd have a break and work until...
Period photos.
6 until 10 in the evening and never finished on time.
We had these secret signs. That
Touching
we
a
would just
watch.
go like this and look at each other. And then sometimes on Sunday, she would ring you and she would say, oh, what about coming in, you know, for a little rehearsal? We could do this scene. And of course...
More photos.
You were cranky that you had to go in on Sunday, but you also, oh wow, Pina wants to work with me. So either way, if you got the call or you didn't get the call, you'd be, you know, it was complicated.
Joe?
But she was so amazingly beautiful, and those eyes, and when she looked at you in those days, it was like so penetrant, so piercing. You couldn't say no.
Photos of the striking Pina Bausch.
One of the best reasons
John?
for me coming here was to see my colleagues again.
They share a laugh in rehearsals.
We're close family in a way. It's fun. It's fun to be back together, you know. John Giffen and I.
Arthur?
We've been sharing Pina's apartment together, you know. I like to cook every day. We're really the odd couple. He has never in his life cooked, and he couldn't boil water, I don't think.
The two come out of the apartment
like
in Wuppertal, dancing down the
I
pavement.
love the film. I think it's ready for the Museum of Modern Art myself.
The one I made.
Really, really.
The best part is the beer and one hand.
Really?
Train tracks in Wuppertal, the guys approach the outside of the open house theatre, a poster for Kontakthof. Elizabeth puts on her makeup, dancers limber up and warm up in the studio and on the empty stage. Rails of costumes stand
I
ready.
think there's now
Meryl?
another energy between us that is going to come across in the piece. You know, when I see them sitting there and they're just watching themselves.
Studying a move to recreate.
I don't know, you see in that body now something more and something, a whole life, a whole lifetime of somebody there, you know, and that little young person who had no idea where they were going to go.
The other dancers applaud as Jo howls into a microphone, as she does on film.
So Pina just looks at the human being,
The dancers
the
circle.
way we are. And yes, we are angels, but yes, we are devils and everything in between.
Elizabeth.
It feels much lighter, Kontakthof, to do it. It feels much lighter because I feel like I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to prove. This is what it's like to be human.
The dancers slowly unfurl, echoed on screen.
You have your life behind you at this point.
Arthur.
So it's easier to love each other and to recognize that you love each other.
He nods. In the piece, he embraces Jo. They hold each other close. Around the dance floor, other couples are gathered in each other's arms, and on screen they gently sway. Meryl and Anne step forwards in unison, younger selves on screen. In slow motion, Meryl and Jo skip in their pink floaty dresses, ribbons in their hair. The dancers parade, women in red, blue, pink and gold, the men in dark suits holding their arms high, dwarfed by their younger selves. On stage, all circle, women in high heels and satin. They smile to the person behind, glancing back. On film, Pina Bausch, in the centre of the 1978 company, leads the dancers forwards to take a bow. There are around 20 dancers in total. They step backwards and take a final bow. The screen fades to darkness. Credits: Director, DOP, Editor Sarah Vaughan-Jones, Producer Kira Lynch, Camera Assistants Lauren Heckler, Pearl Salomon White, Conceived and Directed by Meryl Tankard. With Elizabeth Clark, Josephine Ann Endicott, Lutz Förster, John Giffen, Ed Cortland, Beatrice Libonati, Anne Martin, Arthur Rosenfeld and Meryl Tankard. For the original piece, An Encounter with Kontakthof by Pina Bausch, choreography and direction Pina Bausch, set design and costumes Rolf Borzik, collaboration Rolf Borzik, Marion Cheeto, Hans Pop. Commissioned by Sadler's Wells Digital Stage and Studio. For full credits, visit sadlerswells.com/digital-stage/dancing-through-time.